thank everybody for coming tonight. I'd like to do quick welcome and introductions if possible. And of course, I'd like to start with our amazing and fantastic President National, Janice Regal, who is the lifeblood of this organization, her and her sister Davina both. Janice, Madam President National, would you like to bring a quick greeting?
Absolutely. What a pleasure it is to be back in New York with all of you. It's been a few months since we had our first meeting. And so I'm so happy to be here. So good to see you, Marilee, and see Roberta. It's good to see your name. And Meredith, what a pleasure it is to meet you on Zoom. Welcome to being on the
Thank you so much. We also have one of the Kentucky ambassadors, Cynthia Bixby, and she is also the assistant to the President National. So give a big hello and welcome to Cynthia. Cynthia.
Thank you for allowing me to join you all tonight. I appreciate the invitation.
Sure.
Welcome.
I am also pleased to present another executive board member. We have Wayne Courages, who is one of the counselors on the executive board. He is also the director of the Long Range Planning Committee. So welcome, Wayne, and thank you for coming tonight. And of course, I'm delighted to present, we have Christine Hurst-Luffler, who is the director of the Nsdoaf Scholarship Committee. And Christina will be talking about scholarships this evening and answering any questions that any of you may have. We will hear from Christina in just a few minutes. I also want to give a big welcome to our National Organizing Director, Nancy Gillifan. I'm pronouncing your name wrong.
You are. It's okay.
Okay, well, Nancy, that one, welcome.
Thank you.
And I'm just super excited and delighted to introduce or present rather our next member who is Meredith Chilsen, and Meredith is the newest ambassador for New York State, and I'm just very thrilled. So yay for Meredith.
welcome, Meredith.
Thank you.
At this time, I think we all know we have Roberta and Elizabeth Mosier and Debbie Baylor and Marilee. And if everybody would like to bring a quick greeting, we'll start with Roberta. How's that?
No pressure with going first, right? So thank you, Madam Ambassador, and thank you, was it President National and all her team that she brought with us. So we're excited to be here today. So thank you from Central New York.
Great. And we'll go with Elizabeth next.
Good evening, everybody. I'd like to say hi from Little Falls, New York. We're right in the center of the state.
Wonderful. So glad you could come. And Marilee, would you like to say hello?
You might be on mute, Mom.
There.
My kids would be very grateful if there's a mute button on me. I'm Roberta's mother, and I send you greetings from Croton, New York.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming this evening, for joining us. And we have Debbie Baylor. Debbie, you want to say hello? I don't know if maybe she can't hear me. I don't think she can hear me.
Trying to get her to unmute. There.
Hello.
Hi, Debbie. Thank you for coming.
Hi, Jan.
Great. All right. I'd like to keep the meeting short because I got to get back to watching my program. Anyways, before we hear from our scholarship director, I just have a few things that I would like to share with everybody. Some updates. Recently, the Society voted to change the eligibility date from July 4th, 1776 through December 31st, 1900 to July 4th, 1776 through July 4th, 1914, which will bring us up to World War I. This will be helpful as we will now be able to use the 1910 census with doing applications. And that'll be helpful to help with membership growth. And as always, membership growth is crucial for the success of the society. So get your family, friends, and anybody you know who shows any interest, get them right in. To date, New York has given 103 farmer recognition certificates.
Wow.
So I thank everybody who has
Good.
done a farmer recognition certificate and recognized a farmer in your area. And please, let's continue to do this. Texas got 160, and you know how competitive I am.
Wow.
So yeah, that's amazing. So let's keep that momentum up. Farmer recognition certificates really are an easy way for us to recognize farms and farmers in our state. The farmer recognition certificate request form, as you know, is on the members website, or you can ask Meredith or myself and we will get one to you. If you do a farmer recognition certificate, get a picture and send it to us because we love pictures. And it gives us material to place an article in the national newsletter. So anything that, any of the members in New York State do, if you even, drive by a farm, get a picture of it and send it to me and tell me whose farm it is. I'll put anything in the newsletter. So, also, if you have any farm events or any type of, I know with COVID, it's kind of hard, there's not a lot of events going on, but if there are any farm events in your area, feel free to share them with the New York Facebook group, which is, we have that group. I post in there every once in a while, probably not as often as I should. I sort of forget about it. But it's there for us to use if we want to post stuff, information. We can use it, and any of you can, certainly log in and post something. It doesn't get a lot of traffic, but everybody does see the posts because as one of the administrators, I can see how many people have viewed, a post. So people are seeing it.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Like in central New York, and I'm probably across all of New York State, there's a lot of like maple festivals coming up. I know growing up living in Cortland where mom is now, April 10th is the Maple Festival and Marathon. So is that the kind of thing that you'd want posted to the Facebook page?
Yes, absolutely. And that'll help me to, I can grab that information off there and, maybe submit an article to the national newsletter about upcoming events in New York pertaining to farm events, or we can put it in I started to work on a newsletter in January and it's still sitting on my desk. So
I hear you.
I'm going to get that done one of these days, but yeah, anything that might be of interest to people, members, I think would be good.
I figure maple this time of year and then apples and etc. in the fall. So apples are everywhere.
Yes, New York is the second largest apple producing state in the union.
That's
The
cool.
first state is, of course, the state of Washington. But New York is right behind Washington, and
That's
I
cool.
grew up on an apple farm, so I love apples. But
Librarian National, may I ask a question, please?
yes,
Why is it pointless to tell a cow a joke?
go right ahead, please.
Why? They've heard them all.
I don't get it.
Keep your day job.
Cow herd instead of voice herd.
Oh, okay, all right.
That's how I interpret it anyway.
Don't humor her. She might tell another one.
Get you laughing.
Anytime somebody asks me to tell a joke, I usually say, "Why did the chicken cross the road?" And then they say, "I don't know why." And I said, "I don't either."
That's a good one.
Okay, to date, New York has not had a scholarship recipient. Several of the other states have, and I would really like to get New York on the map with this. I have sent the scholarship information on 3 different occasions to 17 institutions, educational institutions here in New York that have AG programs. But to date, I have heard nothing. I have to wonder if maybe they just deleted the email, or, you know, the first time I sent the information out, I mailed it. You know, and then, you know, Christina's like, no, you got to email it. So I started emailing it, and, you know, nothing. Maybe I'm not sending to the right departments, perhaps. I'm not sure what I'm doing with that, but clearly we need to work on this. And at this time, I'm going to turn it over to our scholarship director, Christina Hurst-Loeffler.
Yay.
Yay. Well, thank you so much, Madam Ambassador, for inviting New York. Wow, it's a long way from California, let me tell you. It's wonderful to see everybody tonight and join your meeting. This is very exciting for me to be able to attend something so far away, but virtually is wonderful. And I'm happy to talk about scholarships. And, you know, the fact that you haven't had a scholarship recipient, not a big deal. It's a collaborative effort, right? For all of the ambassadors to try to get the word out there, and just, you know, making that effort and spreading the information that we do have scholarships available. You're doing that. So that's great already. So a little bit about our scholarships. We offer scholarships to students who are college students. So it's a higher education scholarship, and it's intended for students who are in their 2nd, 3rd, or 4th year of college. And, you know, stay a little bit longer, that's fine too. It's also available to graduate students. And of course, they need to be majoring in an ag-related discipline or an ag-related field. The application is a fillable PDF, which is wonderful because I'm a college professor, and I advise many students and mentor students every semester. They want to fill out those applications quickly. They're used to submitting job applications and other applications electronically. So our style of application dovetails right into that. And I think that speaks very well to the abundance of applications, the incredible response that we received just the past couple months for our spring application. So we have 2 application periods that students can apply for, one for the fall semester, one for the spring. The fall application period is what we're gearing for right now, and where it's important for ambassadors to send out information, I would suggest right after spring break and before we get too close to the end of the spring term. Our fall deadline for submission is August 1st. And so we definitely don't want to wait until the summer to get the word out. We'll be losing those students. Like I said, 2 application periods, one just closed. We had over 50 applicants for the scholarship spring period for the spring term. Yeah, you know, you can't feel bad about not having, you know, a winner. We had many qualified students who applied. I was thrilled that we had, I think either 4 or 5, actually maybe more than that, just from California, which was surprising to me. But we really worked to get the word out, just like everyone else did. It's luck of the draw who's going to apply, quite honestly. We can only do so much. So many qualified applicants. Wayne served on the scholarship committee with me and read a whole slew of those applications. We had a super robust discussion about many qualified applicants, and we awarded $10,000 equally among 5 different students. It was a wonderful experience. First time that I've sat on the scholarship committee and been an active part of this process. I was very happy with the way it unfolded, and I look forward to, you know, assisting with that process again as we look to the fall. So yeah, the best way to get the word out is word of mouth. What about all those farms that you're recognizing? Inquire, with those people. Hey, do you have kids? Do you have neighbors with kids who are pursuing ag degrees? We also have a wonderful card that I believe Bev designed for us that also showcases the scholarships that you could even drop off if you happen to see people. We're not doing that in person in California right now, but if you happen to do that, you could also, as I said, email that application out with a letter. Letters should be super brief, 3/4 of a page max, just the details, attach the application. Since much higher education is unfolding virtually, professors are able to post that to their learning management systems and platforms for their students so that students can access it very easily. They're able to do a bulk email that just drops that application in to students in their classes. So it's a really simple process, but please don't waste the money with paper or anything like that. Students, of course, submit their application online. It goes into a queue, and then I later distribute them throughout my wonderful committee that works super hard. So yeah, it's a great thing that we're doing. And of course, the vast majority of our membership fees are going toward those scholarships. 100% of your supplemental applications go to the scholarship. So it's been a great process.
Great, thank you so much. I was really, happy to hear that I don't have to mail them and that it would actually be better to email them, because I used to be the scholarship chair for my DAR chapter back 100 years ago, and we mailed them. So I was basing that on what I knew. So it really does make sense to email them, especially in this day and age. It's quicker, more efficient, and it works better for the applicant too. So that's good information to know. Does anybody have any questions for Christina pertaining to the scholarships? Now, yes, Wayne.
One of the things I just want to note is before this last go around, we were concerned about getting essays submitted and applications submitted, and to have 50, it was incredible. So to have that success under Chris's watch, I'm expecting 100 this next go round. So Chris is going to have to really expand her team to go through everything. So that's exciting.
It is, and it's spreading, and as time goes on, I think more and more. Can you tell us the states that submitted applications this time? I think New Hampshire had
Let's see if I have that with me. I don't have it I don't have it in front of me right now. Off the top of my head, Delaware, Maryland, Florida, California, Texas, Oregon. Where else? Of course, Nebraska. Yeah. Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania had a winner. Let's see, who else?
Kentucky.
Kentucky, they were all over the place. And like I said, it's just luck of the draw that kids will pick it up and give it a go. Being able to submit electronically, one of the students had a bit of a challenge uploading her documents. And I said, shoot them with your phone, take a picture with your iPhone and upload it that way. Students upload things in a variety of different formats, but like you said, I'm in DAR too. It was such an antiquated process, and to a certain extent it somewhat still is for some of the things that we do. Good citizens, that's an example. This can be done electronically, and I think we'll get better response. Students are just used to working in mode, and certainly with as much distance learning, online learning that's been happening. I've been teaching from my living room for the past year now, solely. They're used to that sort of thing, and they're used to uploading documents that they're sharp and they're capable, and it's a quick process. So I think as Wayne was saying, we're only going to get better and better response. Students can reapply. It's not that they're, weeded out or unable, excluded from applying again if they've won once. We gave a scholarship to someone who had assistance before. So that's certainly a possibility. So they're encouraged to reapply. If they didn't make the top tier this go around, it may be that they float to the top the next one. So that's perfectly fine too. They risk nothing.
Yes. And how much is the scholarship? How much is each scholarship? Does that change? It probably depends on the fund, I'm thinking.
So around $1,000 and is torn. My preference has been that it's distributed equitably, $2,000 per student. So they're not necessarily ranked and provided a certain amount of funds based on where they fall in that list. We shortlist them, and then we critically shortlist them again, right, Wayne? And but my preference is if we have, for example, $10,000 to award, I prefer to have it distributed equitably among that top group of students, as many that we can accommodate. That's a big chunk of change that really assists them. Remember, a lot of the costs in higher education today are different than perhaps when we went through. Students, in many instances, aren't purchasing hard copy textbooks. They rent them, or they just read their textbooks on their phones or on their laptops or Kindles. They're downloading that, and that defrays the cost a lot. So a lot of that $2,000 that we are providing to them goes directly toward tuition costs. So we're making a big dent. That's a wonderful contribution and can go a long, long way.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Fantastic. So the next deadline, the applications need to be received by August 1st. Is that correct?
That's correct. And each time an application comes in, I acknowledge the application, that it's been received, reach out to the student, verify that their documents are accessible so we can read them. They go into a file that then gets packaged and is later sent to the committee. So the students know that the essays that they've submitted have been received and they're now in the queue. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then once we've finished up, we let not only the recipients know, the ones that they're going to receive the money, but I also email all the others, thank them for their submissions, let them know that they're able to reapply at another time. And yeah, so they get feedback each step of the way. I think that's important.
Yes.
Very, very. Thank you so much for all that you're doing. It's like, wow, that's great. Well, hopefully Meredith is the newest ambassador in New York, and so I'm hoping that maybe now that Meredith's on board, we can get the attentions of the institutions up here somehow. So, and of course, all members in New York are encouraged to provide the scholarship information to, programs that may be in your areas too. I mean, it shouldn't just fall on Meredith and I. All members can spread the word about the scholarship, and they should be too. So Christina talked about a card that Bev Shuley, she's one of the ambassadors for Nebraska, and she creates these graphics, these beautiful graphics on Canva. And she created a kind of like an advertisement card that, just says we have scholarships available, and they'd be really great to print out on cardstock and, just leave them around. I dropped some off at the post office, and I don't know what happened to them. Next time I went to the post office, they weren't there. But anyways, these types of resources are available. And if any of the members would like them, let Meredith or myself know, and we can forward the file to you. It's just a little something you can pass out to, if you have farming friends, and maybe somebody's son's interested in going into an AG program, just let them know about the scholarship. Thank you so much, Christina. Does anybody have any questions for her? Well, we got her here.
Yeah. Christina is always magnificent. May I ask how many of you are going to be coming to our national caucus tomorrow? Thank you. Do all of you know how to use Zoom voting? Zoom voting
It pops up on the screen, correct, ma'am?
will pop on the screen. Do you all know how to raise your hand on a Zoom meeting?
We can practice it right now.
Okay, all right. Down at the bottom, it will say,
There we go.
okay, raise hand. And if you leave your hand off of it, it should stay there. If you do not have it up, if it doesn't stay, you do not have the current version. To bring your pet with you to our national caucus. So if you have a dog, a cat, a bird, a parrot, a fish, a cow, a horse, or whatever, please bring them with you. We are welcoming them. I hope you all come. Fun. Yeah, fun.
It's
Come
fun.
come and have fun.
Hopefully I can pick her up. Maxie, she weighs 30 pounds. It's a lot. Okay, the upstate New York area currently has 25 members, and our three newest members are Ruth Ann Buzzard of Ransomville, New York, and Denise Van Buren and Christopher Barkley of Poughkeepsie, Chelsea, New York. And so that is the latest. I've got one application in process for Nancy Swetch would like to join. And I think a big thing is, growing the membership. We had a saying, I can't remember how it got brought up, but it was 2,000 members by 2022. And I don't think that probably will happen, but it's a goal that we can certainly shoot for. I don't think we'll probably have 2,000 members by 2022, but you never know. So, again, I just like to remind everybody to, do your membership speech when you come in contact with friends and relatives. The membership, 60% of each membership goes, like Christina was saying, to the scholarships, and that's important. And Janice Sue, what are the current numbers for the society?
Madam Registrar National just walked in.
Oh, good.
Give me her computer. She went to buy me to get me
And how did we do for the Registrar National's birthday?
She'll tell you.
Oh my God.
Yay.
It was fabulous. It was unbelievable.
Fabulous.
It was a happening.
Are your numbers in by your chair?
Yes, I have them right here. We have 1,133 members,
1,133 members,
and we have 991 supplements.
991 supplements,
And 45 youth.
and 45 youth.
Good number.
I don't think she ever sleeps.
Would you go in and sit by and let them see you a moment, please, Davina?
If you add those two together, it's almost 2,000. Or it is 2,000, over 2,000.
It is
Yeah.
over
A lot of
2,000.
ancestors.
Yes,
It's over 2,000 ancestors.
amazing.
Yes.
Well, and the ancestor, we have all the ancestors listed on the national website. And it's gotten to the point to where I had to come up with a different option for that because, I'm sitting there and it takes me all day to update them because so many are coming in. And the list is getting so extensively long that it's getting difficult to search as well, and And I've received emails from members saying, oh, their ancestor wasn't listed. And I go look and it is. It's just there's so many names in there that they overlooked it. They didn't see it. So I am happy to announce that we are going to release a searchable database for all of the ancestors, supplements, entry ancestors, all of them. And it's going to be, you can search by state. So if you were to type in, say, just NY in the search criteria and hit enter, all the ancestors from New York are going to return. If you type in your national number and hit enter, all of your ancestors, if you've got supplementals, all of them will return. You can do a search by farmer last name. So if you type in, to say Johnson, all ancestors with the last name of Johnson will return. I think going forward, this will be a lot easier for the viewing audience who comes to the website, because we want to be able to help the public maybe find an ancestor, and that might help them, be able to join the society. So if they find an ancestor and they're going to see a national number next to that ancestor, and let me just say, we don't have any member information attached to that. So if they return an ancestor and they see, a number, well, they don't know whose number that is. There's no name or anything attached to that. So, but if they find the member number, they can contact the society and say, you know what, I think I might be related to this patriot or this farming ancestor, I'm sorry. And is there some way I can get more information on that ancestor? And at that point, the registrar can, maybe talk with them and maybe we can get a new member. So, which is the ultimate goal. And also it'll be a lot easier for me because all I have to do is take the Excel file and upload it and batch it into the database interface instead of manually typing them in, which I've been doing up to this point. So
Jen, would you tell them about the new fillable short, long forms and all of that, please?
Yes, the New Jersey ambassador, Debbie Hansen, has redone all the short and the long form. And she just sent me also the youth and I believe the memorial membership as well today. And she did a beautiful job on them. These are the applications for membership and they are fillable. There was a lot of kind of some errors in the other forms. And that they've all been removed. It's right up to date, and I think everybody will find that the applications are in much better shape, and those are going to be linked. I have the website locked down at the moment for updates. I'm updating for the new slate that hopefully will get elected tomorrow, and so I will upload the updates tomorrow afternoon after the caucus adjourns. And the new applications, the long form and the short form, will be on the website as of tomorrow afternoon. So
you should tell us what you're going for at National. We're cheering you on. You're from New York.
I'm running for 4th Vice President National.
Yay.
Yeah. Yay. So I would appreciate your support.
Of course.
Please come on tomorrow and vote for her.
Yes. So it's very exciting. I don't like talking about me very much, so I'm just going to move on.
That's why you have us to cheer you on.
That's good. And I'm so appreciative of everybody here. Does anybody have any questions? The one thing I would like to ask is, what is members of New York, what would you like to see us doing more of?
I can make a joke, like pretend, but I mean, it's a serious answer, but it's kind of a joke too.
Okay.
In our family, we like to eat. So if it's a farming eating event, like ice cream social or ice cream, whatever, at a dairy farm, or I don't know, maple or cider, or, so an eating event, farming related.
As soon as COVID's over, you got it.
Absolutely. What do you think, Mom?
I would love that.
Mom, what do you think of an eating event? And if you're on mute, if you're trying to say something, Mom.
Okay. You gotta tell me to unmute first. You can't just put these things at me without warning. But yes, that's a great idea.
That would be fun. Maybe
I
we,
think that would be a great idea also. It's just hard right now because of COVID and,
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
but once that changes, yeah, that would be awesome. Maybe
an
we could
event,
come to your
all
apple
get
farm
together
and we
and
could do
eat on a farm
something definitely.
someplace. That would be a lot of fun. Yes. Okay, well, it is 7:35 and that is all I have on my agenda. If there is anything else that anybody would like to bring up, we have our President National and several other representatives from the society here. So
I might have missed it, but did the Registrar National tell us how many new supplements she got for her birthday?
Oh, yes. Did we-
Oh, it's really like 100. It's just unbelievable. Even more than that. I need to get the final count. It's
Yay.
been a beautiful, it couldn't have been a better birthday. Thank you to everybody.
Roberta, I think when she gave the last count, it was over 150.
Oh, got it. The phone had cut out for me, so thank you.
Yeah, over 150.
No, I think we might have started with 830 the 1st of February. So it's
So my
remarkable.
goal is to have a binder when I grow up.
Well, for every supplement that you get, you can get, trying to get them here. You can get stars to put on you. Well, first of all, you can buy a lanyard through the store and you can put your insignia. This is the ambassador medallion, I guess they call it. But like my daughter, she put her, just her insignia on the bottom too. You can do that. But you can purchase stars and they have 1 star, 1 ancestor star for if you just have 1 ancestor, and that one is the silver star is for 1. And then the red star is for 5 ancestor for supplementals. And then there's a green star over here on this side. I don't know, you probably can't see the colors real well, but this one's green and that one's silver. The green one is for if you get a youth member into the society. And it's just sort of a fun little thing to do. The stars are $10 each, and it's much cheaper than buying the ancestor bars,
Oh my
which I
goodness.
think they're like $50 each or something, 47, maybe. I can't even think. I don't even know what they are. I do both because, I love pens. But, if you're, just looking for, want to do some supplementals and maybe, the stars are a nice, I think they're kind of fun.
They are.
You're going to have, I think you're going to have a 10
The
supplemental.
10 we have the 10 blue.
And that one's a blue one. Yeah, I don't have that yet. But yeah, it's just something fun to do. And the supplemental, 100% of the fee for the
Oh, I
supplemental
don't have my blue one.
scholarships.
I
So,
haven't yet. I had to wait until I proved more.
I got to do some more supplementals too. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is 7:38 and I don't have anything else.
Jen, give me one more moment, please.
Yes.
Jen is such an important part of our society. She is what we consider a founder. And she was honored, I believe, the last time I told you, with the President National Award. And we are so thankful that Jan is part of this society and it will grow with her. Oh, look at that.
It's the cat.
So thank you for letting me acknowledge you. We also have Cynthia Bixby is a President National Award winner. Wayne is Nancy Gilfillan, and so is Chris. So you've got some really special people here tonight. Thank you. It was a great pleasure being with all of you. I wish you well.
Thank you. Thank you so much for allowing us to have this meeting. And thank you everybody for coming. I'm going to adjourn the meeting. And maybe the next time we have a meeting, maybe Meredith will preside over it. She just gave me a headlight look. Like what? But I think this will be good. And we may even want another ambassador up in the Adirondack region too, because that's a zone I don't know much about up there. But the more ambassadors that the states have, the more exposure the society is going to get, and the more outreach we'll have with the members across the state. So I'm very appreciative that Meredith, accepted the position. So instead of just hearing from me all the time, which I think everybody gets sick of, getting my emails and stuff. So now you can get them from Meredith too. So, but anyways, if you guys want to talk, hang out, that's fine. I'm going to sign off. I'm in the middle of a program and I'd sort of like to go finish watching it. But it was wonderful having all of you come this evening. Thank you. And go Farmers.
Thank you.
Good luck
Thank you,
tomorrow.
Dan.
Yes, good
Thank
luck.
you. It's always nice.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Thank you.
everybody.
Good luck, everybody.
Good night.